We think we need a... Not it's going to make much difference, actually. Might make a little bit of difference.
Do you know the Traffic, the band Traffic, or the Traffic?
I do, yes.
Have you heard their version of White Lines?
No. Any good?
Yeah, I love it. It's so good. It's also sort of flapping and sort of gappy, isn't it? The way they play it. It sounds like they're playing it all live. I don't think they fuss around laying.
They're an old band, though. They've been around for ages.
Yeah.
Are they still going?
I don't know, but I just heard their version of White Lines recently, and I love it. I've got it on my little party playlist that I put on when someone runs out.
I see.
When we're out, you know.
Yeah. So who's playing tonight, Clive?
Manchester City are playing PSG, Paris Saint-Germain.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And PSG have got a couple of the best players in the world, and so they're formidable, and they're to be feared. And a lot of people feel that they're unbeatable, but we beat them in the first leg, and now they're coming back to Manchester.
Oh, okay, home game.
Home game.
So it should be in the bag, basically. They got a away goal.
It's not in. Nothing's ever in the bag with PSG. They've got Mbappe. It's a silent M.
I know.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
it's a
He's
soft
good.
M.
But you can't, build a team around one person unless
No,
they're
they've got a few more.
They got a few. They have.
Yeah.
It's not just him running around.
No, it isn't.
So okay. So there's people playing the game.
Yeah, it should be good. We'll have to see. Maybe I'll just have the odd glance and see how we're doing as we go through. But the Champions League is the one thing Manchester City have never won. You see, and
Right.
we're mean as custard.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't even know. I don't care. I'm sorry.
I think you're very honest like that. I appreciate that.
I did used to care.
Oh yeah, who did you used to support?
I support Liverpool from a kind of historic perspective because I'm half Scottish. So it used to be when I was a kid, because obviously it's about when you're a kid, that's when you choose your team, when you're in primary school. In general, there's always exceptions to the rule, but in general, that's the case. And because I'm half Scottish and I really like Kenny Dalglish as a player, so Liverpool was for me.
I'll be
and they were
honest with you.
always winning.
They were. Well, we're about the same age, aren't we? How old are you?
I'm 49.
Oh no, we're not about the same age then.
Well,
I'm
how old?
47.
You bastard. Yeah, well, age before beauty.
Yeah, I
So
suppose
what? So Man City, why?
Well, I used to support Liverpool, fella.
Oh, good man. Why did
Yeah.
you change this?
Well, blokes in pubs don't like that. Do you know Nick the Greek, who lives around the corner with a massive NHS sign on the side of his house?
Oh, right, yes.
Yeah, you will know him. He doesn't stop talking. You'll know all about him, and he won't know anything about you. I
Right.
suppose I'm slagging off Nick the Greek now.
Be careful, this might go out.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
He's a lovely man, by the way. You're a lovely man,
he
Nick.
He is actually a lovely man. I've
Yeah,
probably
you
jumped
just
in.
get
But mental note, don't slag people off. Yeah, fair enough. And he said to me, do you know what? You can change your wife.
But not at this point,
You can
anyway.
change your religion,
At least
but
get
a bloke
bit
will
better.
never change his football team.
Exactly. Well, I sort of say the same. I mean, I remember a friend of mine, he went from Arsenal, which is bad enough, but to Chelsea.
Holy Moses.
Do you know what I mean? It's like incredulous, really.
Yes, I do. So that's the
Very
south,
strange.
That's the
I
southwest.
mean, he lived in Muswell Hill
isn't
as
it?
well. If you're going to support any team, it's Arsenal. But
Right,
I couldn't get over the fact, and this is the childish thing as well, the word arse.
Well, that's the first
Arsenal,
joke. That's the first joke I can remember. Trevor Barton told me that joke when I was 5. At
Yeah,
the infant
well, exactly.
school.
It'd put anyone
What's
off.
the rudest club?
Yeah.
What's the rudest club in the first division?
First
There's no such
division,
thing.
yeah.
And I said, I don't know. And he said Arsenal. I went, da ha ha, and laughed. And I was so young I didn't get it because I'd never heard the word arse before.
Oh, well, there it was an education.
So I'm going back a little bit there for that one.
Yeah, that's it. We're getting to the bottom of the barrel already. 5 years. We're starting at the beginning.
Well, where else is there to start? Yeah, absolutely.
So, right, okay, so let's explain what this is about. So, right, we're just going to have a drink, okay, and we're going to talk about topics that we've both talked about in the past or not, and we're going to explain to each other a certain topic that we may or may not know anything about. So it's pretty vague at the moment. But at the end, as we kind of go through these topics, I'm going to be writing down little phrases or words to do with what we've been talking about.
I see.
And then we're going to write a little song together at the end.
How lovely.
Yeah. So it should be quite. It's either going to go completely shit, or it's going to work amazingly, and it's going to be like some kind of magic that we've created.
We've got to risk a bit of shit every now and then.
Exactly.
I've never
try anything once. Yes, exactly. So that's it. And also, we're going to be having a drink, aren't we?
We are. I mean, it is Wednesday, and Wednesday's the new Thursday. So we're blowing the froth.
What are you doing? Why are you touching up my room?
Well, it's one of the most tactile rooms I've ever been in, actually, because you've got all of these spongy. Just to explain, Thor's room. I mean, you're calling this a room now.
The bunker.
Right? Yeah. It's an outdoor structure. And it's double skinned and it's breathable.
Yeah.
And it's very tactile because it's got lots of soft, spongy.
It's very cosy.
Yeah, it is cosy.
And we've got a really good sign over here that says recording studio, like lit up, which is, I like.
Yeah, I like it too.
It's little things like that. Lighting's very important.
It's a bit neon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how it works, actually. But anyway, that's for another day when we go into have our electronic special.
Oh, okay.
Do lighting
I look
special.
forward to that.
So have you heard? This is the first topic.
Here we go.
Have you heard of the Metaverse? I'll give you a clue.
Now, go on.
It's something to do with Facebook.
Oh, I see. The Metaverse. Well, I'm going to try and break it down like James Brown, but I'm purely, totally guessing.
Yeah.
So obviously verse is the suffix of universe, which would be a singular verse, and it's also a word which means the sort of build-up bit in a song, a verse, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's not that one.
All right.
That's far too creative.
Well, no, bear with. I'll get
but I like the first one. That was good. What did you say?
Can't remember.
You said it was, we've got it recorded. We can...
as in universe, isn't it?
Universe as in the singular entity.
Oh, yes, and then verse.
Singular entity. I like that, you see. I don't know how I'll get that into a song, but... Singular entity.
Well, singular sounds like something that could be sung, doesn't it? Really?
Exactly. Well,
so absolutely. But no, come on, Sutton, focus. So, meta.
It's all right if you don't know.
One of my favourite metas is metacognition, which means thinking about thinking.
Right.
And that's part of emotional intelligence, to be able to say, hold on a second, when I think about this, it always goes downhill and end up getting all upset or get all angry or mad. And having a word with yourself, that's metacognition to some extent.
Right. So is it like being
cognitive,
consciously aware of your own cognition?
Yeah, which we so rarely
Now,
are,
that would be very difficult to put in a song. Cognitive, I mean, I can't even say it.
No.
Consciously aware of your own cognition.
Well, I think that's not a bad name for a second or third album, to be honest. So what are we on about Metaverse?
I would say that the
thing?
meta would be, it's more about being overall.
Yeah,
it's a global term, isn't it? So it's one up from the universe. It's the metaverse, which encompasses even the universe.
Then you've got metaphysical. It doesn't it sort of mean beyond or between?
Yeah, slightly out of reach, maybe. Slightly. It's a construct of the mind.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, go on then.
Right, okay. So the metaverse, it's really boring.
You love your Facebook, don't you? I hardly ever go on.
No, it's because Mark Zuckerberg has changed the name. Facebook is no longer Facebook.
Oh yeah, what's he
it's
calling
called
it?
Meta.
Oh yeah.
Right. So he did this whole thing about a week ago where he said, "We've got the new thing." And
big launch, was it?
Well, it was a YouTube video of him looking really awkward, in the kind of like virtual reality. So
I see.
Essentially what it is, the metaverse is a vision for a new place to interact with other humans and bots to play games, conduct business, socialise and shop. Sounds really boring, doesn't it?
They always put the most insidious thing at the end of the list.
Yes.
It's an afterthought.
Well, yeah. So by using various types of hardware, such as VR goggles and software like programs like Fortnite. You've heard of Fortnite?
I am familiar.
You have a teenage boy, so you know about that kind of thing.
That's true.
Will be increasingly used to provide a smorgasbord of virtual services to the user. Your avatar will be your digital identity.
I'm quite excited about it, and I don't normally care about this sort of thing.
It's a big thing.
I don't know why it's seducing me so much.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Have you got your goggles yet, Thor?
We bought some. We got some for the PS4.
Did you?
And it's good proof of concept that it can be used for games and things like that. But the real problem with virtual reality is you're so detached from this reality. I mean, for one, it'll make you sick as a dog. You'll feel really sick.
Really?
Yeah, because you don't have, like, you feel like you're moving.
Yeah.
Right, but you're not moving, so your whole balance thing gets completely skewed. It's like you start feeling seasick, essentially.
I presume it's a bit like when you're on a train and the train next to you is pulling away, which gives you the impression of movement when you're actually still at the station.
It's very much like that. Yeah, but worse. it's so on that level, on a kind of physical level, like some people can handle it, but actually moving around in this virtual space can be really, it just makes you feel sick. So it's not a nice experience.
I've just thought of I know that you're in the middle of explaining the metaverse.
It's all right, it's fine, interrupt.
But I've just thought of a general sort of guidelines thing that I'd like to lay down if we're going to proceed with this.
Yeah.
I have in my mind all sorts of brilliant inventions and novel innovations that could change the world.
Brilliant.
But I only remember them after a couple of pints, and generally speaking, I don't go out with a notebook, so I forget.
So should we make another list? So Clive's list of things that will change the world.
Yeah,
Right.
So innovative inventions, because I mean the most obvious and famous ones are community vacuum and the blind Rubik's cube, of course. Now, see,
Right.
I invented community vacuum in
Oh, we can't hear it. I don't know what we need.
in 1989.
Yeah.
Nope, still no.
Hang on.
That's because it's
Technical
not.
issue.
That's because it's not applicable.
What's the point?
No, that's not applicable. Which one? Community vacuum or blind Rubik's?
I don't know. I'm just writing the title first.
Oh, I
Christ.
see, yeah. But
That
what
will-
I'm worried about is that if anybody actually stumbles across this on the internet, they're just going to steal
Yeah.
my idea, go and get famous, take all the credit for it, like Moby did with Play. And I'm not. That's not happening on my watch.
Now we've got to have. What was that thing I wrote when we went to the pub? It was. What was it? It was meandering.
Right.
I think we're definitely in that. So all right, but we will write down the two things that you said, which
Okay.
were
The community vacuum.
community vacuum.
That's it. Which
Right.
has subsequently been invented since I invented it and told too many people about it in pubs.
Right, I don't even know what that is. It feels like
I'll explain it later.
it feels like somewhere I don't really want to go.
Oh, I see. Well, it has been used for that, but only in a very niche circle.
Was that a bit like the pub that we went to upstairs?
Yeah, they'd love it in there.
Yeah.
And the other one is the blind Rubik's cube.
Blind Rubik's cube.
This isn't a Rubik's cube that can't see because none of them can. It's a Rubik's cube.
Well, you took the words out of my
okay,
way.
yeah, fine. So,
Okay, so blind Rubik's cube. That's.
I
a
don't
great
mind
idea.
announcing these two because they've basically I've told too many people in pubs, and eventually the word's got around. Someone else has pinched my idea and manufactured them, and you can get these in the hundreds of thousands now. And
Brilliant.
the idea of the blind Rubik's cube, as I'm sure you can imagine, is that one surface is sandy rather than red, another
Yeah.
surface is corduroy instead of blue.
Yeah, great
It's
idea.
that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1989 I came up with that idea.
Well, you missed it.
It missed
Yeah.
my own idea.
I had a good idea that somebody nicked.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
bit more technical and it doesn't have the same ring, but essentially it was a way to take the audio out of your DAW and send it to a web page that somebody could listen to. So you could be working on your track and then somebody, your client, it wouldn't matter where they were, they could hear what you were doing and then speak to you to say, oh, we want it a bit more like this or a bit more like that. So it's a bit like live feedback from your clients.
Wow, that's clever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was
while
a
you're
great idea.
tinkering,
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Or is it
I
just the
used it. I
latest
was thinking of it.
version?
I use it now. There's a program called Audio Movers, which you can put into your DAW, and it does exactly that. And I
are
use
they
it
one
for
of our
teaching.
sponsors then?
Well, they bloody well should be after this. But because I do my other thing, Music Tech Guru, where I do like tech advice and things like that.
Yeah.
The video that I did about how to use Audio Movers is by far the most popular one.
I see.
And the 26,000 views.
So Audio Movers is your idea that someone else nicked. And
Yeah,
made money
it was like, and I was trying to find a programmer, and everyone was like, "What are you talking about? Why would anyone want to do that?" It's like, mate, and then the pandemic happened, and it was like,
It's like all your stuff, Thor, too niche. You see, there's 60
Yeah.
million blind people on the planet. You know, you've got to
true,
be
true.
realistic about these things. But
yeah, but you should stick to what you're good at because what do you know about
manufacturing blind Rubik's cubes.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Zip.
All right.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about programming. That's what fucked me.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
fair
just familiarising myself with the keyboard. So anyway, the reason I thought about all
Anyway,
this,
look, I'm meant to be explaining to you about Metaverse.
Yeah, I was just about to bring it back as well, actually.
Okay, go on. You go.
The reason I thought about all this is because I've got an invention to do with the virtual world. Carry on.
Okay, brilliant. Well, maybe it'll be part of the Metaverse. So hopefully, maybe Mark Zuckerberg is here and he'll give us a call.
The thing about this one is it's such a good one. I'm really reluctant to say it into.
Well, we could say it off. Device. We could say it off air.
Or I could mime it to you. I know because we've got the camera on. Yeah, okay. We'll find a way. Sorry, Thor.
Okay, so have you seen the film Ready Player One?
Yes, I have.
So that's basically where, the Metaverse is wanting to go. Yeah,
yes.
Right. So a completely immersive experience where you can experience anything, go anywhere, do anything. I mean, but it's impossible because the technology just isn't there.
Well,
and also
wait till you hear my invention, but carry on.
Yeah, but well, I am intrigued.
Yeah.
So the problem is that the technology just hasn't arrived yet, and these problems I was telling you about, the dislocation that you get, trying to have these headsets on where you can't see anything go, it's really disorientating, makes you feel sick. You can't, and it's just really not a nice, pleasant experience. So what needs to happen is we need to have the next level, which is augmented reality.
What does that mean?
So what that is where they superimpose graphics on your environment that's around you.
I see.
So you put these glasses on. Microsoft do these things called HoloLens, which I've had a go at actually at the Falmouth Uni. They had a set of them.
What, you gave them a dressing down?
I had a go at them, yeah. I told them, like, don't waste your money on this shit, right? Buy more synths.
Good for you.
Yeah, but but they didn't listen to me. But it's really expensive, about $3,500 for this headset.
I see.
Right, and you put it on, and then we were in this kind of pretty standard kind of office room, and then all of a sudden you see these cracks appear in the walls, and then these arms come out like that, and then these little bots fly through the cracks into the room. They're flying around, and you have to fire fireballs at them by putting your fingers together like that.
That's incredible.
It's incredible. Yeah, and so it's all in the room.
The software must be aware of the dimensions of the room itself.
It's what they call an in-out system. So in some systems you have to put cameras up in the room to map the room out. But this maps it from the headset.
That's amazing.
Incredible. And that was HoloLens 1, and they brought HoloLens 2 out, which is a bigger field of view because it was quite restricted. It's about 70 degrees.
The new version will be a contact lens.
Yeah, possibly. Well, Apple glasses are coming out soon, and that will essentially have little kind of, you'll be able to put these glasses on, and then you'll have like little displays in your view that you can then interact with your hands, things like that. And this is all happening in 2021, 22. So augmented reality is going to change things. I mean, from a kind of perspective of, say, design, imagine you were designing a car, for example, and you wanted people to see the model of the car. You could put it into augmented reality and have it literally sitting on the desk in front of people.
The applications are endless.
Yeah, exactly. It's really... So... But the haptics, the actual feedback that you get from physicality, haptics is about like, when you're playing a controller, it vibrates.
If it vibrates, or a steering wheel that gives you some resistance.
Force feedback and the rest of it.
And power steering, when it was invented in the 1980s, that was the key with power steering.
Yeah, to give you resistance.
Feedback and resistance,
exactly. Yeah. So, it's nice drink. So yeah, that's essentially what's happening at the moment. But where they're at the moment is essentially you're kind of this hovering little avatar which hasn't got any legs because there's no way of tracking your legs yet.
Oh, this ties in with my invention.
Oh right, is it a leg tracker?
Well, sort of, yeah. But go on, I'm still building.
Is it a all omnidirectional treadmill?
Yes.
It's been invented.
No, what has it?
Yeah. Yeah, it has, yeah. It's rubbish.
But wait a minute, how recently has it been invented?
Oh, this was years ago. This is about 5-10 years ago. I've seen them.
Yeah, 11 or 12 years ago, I was going on about this in a pub.
Yeah, but how would you do the floor?
A ball.
Yeah, a really big ball.
A really big ball. Now, I was thinking of actually...
I don't think you're the first person to think of this. And the problem is, right, is what this device which I saw on YouTube, it had a ring around your waist.
Yes.
Because otherwise you're going to fall over.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Run off in some crazy direction. But I think that, if it's a really big ball, then I think you've got two little, what do they call them, jockey wheels, bearing out the two dimensions of spin. So you've got round and round and up and down. And that gives you the sensitivity to read it, just like a wheel on the bottom of an old-fashioned mouse.
But it's more likely going to be like the holodeck. on Star Trek.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so where essentially you'll wear these glasses. I think this is more likely. Oh, actually, they do it already. You can go to games like Star Wars did a VR game where you strap the computer on your back. Right? You got a backpack and a front pack as well, so you got haptics.
Front pack? I've never heard of a front pack before.
It's like they get them. It's like a haptic suit. So essentially,
haptics?
so so you'll feel things if they get hit.
I see.
So it covers your
So
whole
it's a pack
torso.
that punches you in the gut if necessary.
Basically, yes. It's a full, and you've got the computer processor on your back with the battery, and then you wear this VR goggles, and then what they make is they make a space in a warehouse, and they have basic blocks and basic things like gun shapes.
Yeah.
But when you look at them, they will look like specialized.
In every detail.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but they've just got essentially the basic, but if there's some stairs, they'll look like, it might look like metal stairs, but actually they're just, blocks going up and things like that. So, it does work if you can move around and what you're getting inputted is the same as what you're actually feeling. Then it gets much more immersive.
Immersive. That's the expression, isn't it? Immersive.
So what they call the place where people meet in reality, they call it meat space. Right?
Oh, I thought you were going to say that's the metaverse.
MEAT.
Oh, really?
Meat space. Ugh. Yeah, because we're meat, right?
Well, that's because
we're not digital. We're unclean.
But also, what I get from that, Thor, is that we are meat, but that's an extremely Western, cynical, reductionist view of the human being. Because what about the
Welcome to the
soul?
tech world.
What about the soul?
Well, yeah,
what
it's not called Soulverse, is it?
No, it is not. Thanks for noticing that. That's an important point.
So, so it's got a while to go, but the concepts are there. And basically, it's going to be something like we can't actually conceive. I mean, I remember watching a version of episode of Futurama, if you've ever watched that, where they go into the internet. Oh. And it's like they're flying around this 3D space, and essentially it's just been taken over by every sordid thing you could possibly, which is essentially what's going to happen. Because with any technology, any entertainment technology, the fundamental thing is whether it succeeds or not is, can I consume porn?
That was the driver of
That's the driver of VHS. So many things, it's like the driver. Can I access porn in some way?
Yeah, that is true.
And does it work? So that'll be the fundamental thing.
Right, so I've got my next invention now. You've just given me an idea, talking about porn.
Right. I haven't been writing anything down. This is really annoying.
We're all going to need neoprene suits, aren't we?
Yeah, well, like in Ready Player One.
That can stimulate all parts of our body. So if you're going to have virtual sex in the metaverse, you're going to need to have neoprene all around your knob so that it can then massage it according to the virtual lady that you've just encountered.
So neoprene knob massager.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know whether to put that into the song bit or the list. It's kind of both, isn't it?
Well, not knowing what to put it into is going to be part of the issue.
Especially if you can't see where it is.
See, there's a play on words there with not knowing what to put it into. Thor.
Yeah,
we can work on that.
Yeah, okay. Not put it into. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll do that. That'll be the fun bit later.
Neoprene knob massager.
Yeah.
And they're going to be producing tens of thousands
I mean, that is going to be the
factory,
fundamental thing, isn't it? Oh, can't you imagine it? Let's go to the Playboy mansion. And then be walking around.
I can't imagine virtual. It doesn't do much for my soul, though. you know the way watching the Grateful Dead documentary does something for your soul?
Oh, yeah.
The neoprene knob massager is like the opposite to that.
It really is. It's the antithesis of everything. It's the most physical. You're talking about Chakra 1, right? This is the massager. Chakra 7, Grateful Dead.
That's exactly right.
It's just completely polar opposite. And that's how far humanity has fallen. But there you go.
My mate at work's just had some research published, which is related to this. And he is a video game enthusiast, and he plays a game. You're going to help me name it, Thor. It's called something like Red or Dead Redemption.
Oh, Red Dead Redemption, yeah. It's a cowboy epic open world game, yeah.
So some people are so strung out on Red Redemption. Is that what it's called?
Red Dead Redemption.
Okay. And that they don't get out much.
Well, yeah.
Some people play it such a lot.
Yeah.
And so where they used to take their dog for a walk, instead they're playing Red Dead Redemption. And so their access to nature is really depleted. And my friend is a biologist, and his wife is a research assistant at Tremuff. You know what I'm talking about.
Tremo.
Yes. Well, it depends if you want to do the local Middle Cornish pronunciation. It's up to you.
Okay.
So yeah, they've put this research together, and they've just had it peer reviewed. To cut a long story short, what they've discovered is that people playing Red Dead Redemption, am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Have learned quite a lot about nature.
Yeah.
Because there's all these cacti and funguses and I don't know, wildlife.
There's the precedent for this.
All this sort of thing.
There's,
and so what they're saying
Pokemon.
is,
Pokemon comes from that. The guy who invented Pokemon was really into insects, and he wanted to get kids into nature.
that comes through when you look at them, doesn't it?
Yeah. So he basically his idea was to create these imaginary insects that would be interesting to kids to get more interested in nature.
Wow.
And a lot of the games have that real nature element to them. But anyway, as you were saying, I just thought I'd put that in.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, what Ned's excited about it. He's saying, see, we can still play video games and learn about nature.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to him, well, if you take this principle to its natural conclusion, we won't need nature anymore.
Yeah.
Because we just say, well, what do you need actual nature for? I enjoy virtual nature more. I've got heating in my house. My mum brings me a hot chocolate with marshmallows on top while I'm looking at this peculiar type of bracken. And then a couple of generations down the line, once you and me have made our fortunes from my big ball multi-directional virtual treadmill... And the
bollocks.
Well, yeah, but possibly the neoprene non-massager. Oh, so you're accepting,
hell yeah! I'm
so
gonna
you're
have a hell
accepting
yeah
that
or
one.
something.
Yeah, there you go. Mental note. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's an important sound effect. They're scary, isn't it? All I'm trying to say is that all the time that the virtual world improves, the world declines.
Well, this is Elon Musk. He was a big proponent of the synthesized universe, like we're actually living in a simulation.
Oh, suggesting that we already are.
Exactly.
Oh, well, that makes life easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we're actually within a simulation. In a simulation, they're talking about, that's actually what. There's a Rick and Morty episode.
Easy for you to say,
is it?
I'm running over your spare cables that are
That's
spilling
all right.
out of your
That's
box
fine.
of cables.
Yeah, it's all right. I got so many.
Like an over-generous spaghetti portion, isn't it? In here?
It's a working studio.
Well, René Descartes is as far back as we need to go, I think, to talk about this.
And what did he say apart from I think, therefore I am?
Yeah, cognito ergo sum in Latin. And I don't know how you say in Latin. Oh, here we are.
Good point.
I do know it in some languages.
So let me just finish off my little thing.
Oh yeah, sorry. Where were we?
So essentially, what it's really indicating, the whole thing, is the Metaverse indicates the desire for tech companies to move into this digital space. So there's people like Amazon. So obviously, if you're shopping and you go into a virtual department store and you can have your avatar as you're looking as you are, and then try on clothes or look at sofas in your rooms or whatever. You can do all of that. So you can see where Amazon are coming from. Autodesk, well, they do CAD,
right.
So which is design.
Yes.
So you can see a really big thing for there. And also Tencent, which is the biggest gaming company in the world, Chinese gaming company.
Can I just interject?
Yeah. Well, can I stop you?
That ain't going to last long, is it? What I was thinking of, what's just occurred to me for the first time, and I'm sure it's not the first time for you, Thor. I'm sure it's not the first time you've heard that. But what's occurring to me is people aren't just going to be playing in this metaverse. People are going to be working there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, meetings. This is it. This is another thing. I mean, if you carry on, now these are the real world uses. Sports and games, like you'd be able to be at the pitch, at the football game. You'd be in the audience.
Yeah, but you wouldn't, would you?
But you would be, because you would feel like you were there. You could see someone next to you who'd be sitting next to you, who would be someone else. Not maybe it's in your family or whatever, but they would be there as well. You'd be able to look down in the game. You'd have all the cameras there if you wanted to see a rerun. You just go boom, and you'd just be there. The game would be there being played to you.
I've asked my son, who is a 16-year-old boy. Thor and I have sons of roughly the same age, and they're both more up-to-date with video games than us. Although, Thor, I think you're a bit more technologically up-to-date than me. And I've asked my son, with great curiosity, many times, have you dreamt about video games
Oh,
because
God.
he can commit hours.
I've dreamt
to a
about video
game.
games.
Have you?
God, yeah. God, didn't you ever play GoldenEye?
No, I didn't.
Or never played any of those games like Underworld or Doom?
No.
Doom, oh my God. When
Not
Doom
really.
first came out, that was the scariest game. That's the first 3D first-person shooter.
Yeah, I see.
And it was just revolutionary. And then all of a sudden you could walk around in this dungeon, you know, just being scared shitless.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know what I was doing when everyone else was getting strung out on video games, but I managed to avoid that one.
Yeah.
I got into a few games on the Wii, but I swear to God, I've never... But what I mean is, you may have dreamt you were playing a video game,
Yeah.
but have you ever dreamt as if you were in a video game? This is what I mean. Do you see the distinction I'm making?
Yeah. A video game character.
That would be quite a deep thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
oh,
imagine
it's
if you...
definitely happened,
People are going to wake up, aren't they, in a couple of years' time and say, I had this lovely dream, love, that we were on holiday together, somewhere gorgeous, and we're having sex and you looked really hot. And then the wife's going to say, was it me, love, or was it me, my avatar? And the husband's going to go, oh, it wasn't the real you. For God's sakes, it's that sexy avatar that we use in the Metaverse. You know, God's sakes, I wouldn't dream
There's
about
a
having
film
sex
about
with
that. I
actual
can't remember
you,
what
would
it
I?
is where essentially everybody's created a robotic avatar which goes around and does their stuff in the real world, and you can make this avatar the perfect version of you. So it's all like it's basically you, but it's better.
Yeah.
You know.
That's very easy to imagine for me. But this is a very humanistic concept.
Yeah, well,
This is the ideal self.
It's one of those things. It's like if humans can actually think of it, then it's probably going to happen. You know.
Hold on a second. Does that bear fruit?
If you can, what the mind can conceive, the body will achieve.
Is that a quote?
It is. I don't know where I got it from an Eat Static record.
Oh, well, that's worth
It's got to be
something,
true, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Good old
So
Osric's tentacles.
There's an obscure reference. So anyway, real world thing. So sports, games, entertainment, concerts, which would be good, yeah. Because you could be on stage with the band. You could be playing there you could be sitting there as a dancer, virtual dancer.
I think you're getting too excited about this.
To be honest, I hate the whole idea.
Sleazy job as a salesperson for one of these things, you know.
Well, it's easy sell, really, but it's like,
you're
you know,
right.
like you say, it should be, what we would need is a Soulverse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Like you're talking about Grateful Dead. I mean, I'm totally with you, man. Right? I'm totally with you.
Meatverse, that's a bad sign.
Meat space, yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, it's a bit like Uber, what they're named for the drivers. Meat puppets.
What?
Yeah. They're essentially just there driving the cabs. That's it. They're not actually people.
And this year's Amnesty International Human Resources Award goes
Yeah. Oh, it's not. We don't own any cabs. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, it's just a service, man.
Well, that's analogous to this, isn't it? Because Facebook have been washing their hands of content, and they're going to be doing an awful lot more of that once they've got this Metaverse going,
Yeah.
aren't they? Because they don't take any responsibility for it.
Yeah. And then we've got healthcare, which is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you could have robotic doctors, or you could have somebody who's not that skilled, and then somebody there who's like 10,000 miles away, be able to advise that person. So there's lots of applications in that. I mean, I see healthcare as a big one. And then training, obviously, that's pretty straightforward. Education, going to virtual lectures and all the rest of it. I mean, it's just like, it's like some dystopia. It's like Ready Player One, isn't it? You go to this place because the real reality is so shit.
Yeah.
So that's their game plan. So essentially, I think that's what it is. These tech companies, their plan is to destroy the real world. So the best alternative is to go to this world, right?
I was in quite a good mood about 5 minutes ago.
I know. Well, yeah, you need to know this stuff.
Yeah, so to be forewarned is to be forearmed.
Exactly.
See,
and I haven't written down anything. You have to start telling me to write stuff down, otherwise this song's going to be really short.
Oh, yes, I see. Oh, well, I can't backtrack now.
No, I know.
I can't remember what
it's a dry run. It's going to be a short song. It's fine.
Okay.
So to finish off, NFT art gallery. You probably don't know what an NFT art gallery is, do you?
I haven't got the first clue what an NFT art gallery is.
So and the NFT stands for non-fungible token.
Non-fungible?
Yeah, fungible. Is it fungible or fungible?
Is
fungible.
This as in...
You can't copy it. You can't change it.
I see.
Right, so an art gallery would be a place where you could display your digital art
Yes.
for people to buy.
It's still 0-0.
Is it?
Yeah.
How long have they been playing?
23 minutes.
Right.
23
Early days.
minutes.
Early days.
Yeah, out of 90.
So who really knows how it's going to turn out like? But my last words are probably awful.
Oh,
Yeah, because I've tried. I mean, what I've tried of it is, it's just a little bit, like you say, it's soulless. It's got nothing in it. It's all.
I think some of the nomenclature is a bit of a surefire sign towards the fact that the people who are developing and projecting and, pushing these technologies have probably lost track of what's important to human beings, haven't they? I think that, I don't know.
So, what do you think of the metaverse? You in or out?
I'm out. I'm out of the metaverse.
You're out of the metaverse.
Yeah, I mean, I used to enjoy playing Reeves's Commodore 64 games, like Daredevil Dennis and stuff like that. I used to enjoy. Daredevil Dennis was a good one.
You ever play that
What
one?
else did we play?
Mission Impossible.
No, I think that's too up to date for me.
Stay here forever.
Daredevil Dennis is the only one I can
I mean, I was a ZX Spectrum boy, so it was always stuff like Manic Miner and Jet Set Willy and all the Ultimate Games, Attic Attack, Night Law, the classics.
Some of those ring a bell. Yeah, I worry for the mental health of everybody. I think you talk about the travel sickness and the seasickness of being disorientated in a virtual world. I can imagine the augmented world just overcoming that problem a little bit because you're still in a room.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that before. But I have thought about lenses that we're going to have no mobiles anymore. We're going to have earrings and contact lenses. And that will all be connected up with microscopic circuitry. And then you'll be able to look at something and say info, and it will say, Truro Pizza Express has been here for 17 years and was originally the Coinage Hall or something like that.
And it would talk like that.
Yes. I suppose you could change it like that family that changed their
like
Alexa.
Siri.
Yeah, did you hear about that? The religious family that changed their Alexa.
To sound like what?
Well, no, it doesn't. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, it sounds all Father Christmassy, but it only responds to Dear Lord because they're a bunch of evangelists. So their 3-year-old kid walks into his bedroom and goes, "Dear Lord, switch on the light," and the good Lord switches on his damn lights.
Wow, that is
Dear
real.
Lord,
that is real
curtains.
behavioural reinforcement right there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna shrug God off with your pimped up Alexa like that.
I still think it should be just computer. Let's go Star Trek on it.
I see.
Computer.
Yeah,
But
I mean, the
why
word
didn't they
computer will probably become trendy in a nostalgic and sentimental and retro
Yeah, and
way,
also,
won't
I
it?
mean, Alexa really fucked up anyone called Alexa, right?
I've got a student called Siri.
No, you're joking.
No, I'm not joking. I've got
Bloody
a
hell.
student called Siri. Hello,
I had
Siri.
a student called Denon. After
Denon.
not that kind of Denon.
The yogurts.
Like the tape players, the stereos, Denon stereos. And his dad was a pirate radio station DJ.
Brilliant.
That lived at the top of a high-rise flat. He tried to sell me methamphetamines, and he was 12.
Holy Moses! Wonder what he's doing now.
Well, he did change his ways. I turned him around. I got him into music, and he got off the drug thing and got into music, which is a good thing.
Most certainly is.
Yeah. So there you go.
Denon, I like it. Oh, I've got loads of examples like that. kids with funny names.
Oh, we're both teachers, aren't we?
We should do a whole show on it, shouldn't we?
Well, we could do.
Kids with funny names.
We could talk shit. Right, okay, so I think we're at the end of that little section. We could have a little break now and take these awful headphones off.
Okay.
And stop it and see what happened.
I think my mood's rebalancing slightly, but thanks for introducing me to the metaverse.
You're welcome.